He's not well.
Hi, this is Joe.
And this is Jenna.
From Fantastic Reviews, coming at you today with a video review of M. Night Shyamalan's movie, Split.
It stars James McAvoy. He plays a gentleman with multiple personality disorder, and he is phenomenal in this movie.
If you see this movie for no other reason, definitely see it for James McAvoy's performance because he is absolutely brilliant. He just does an incredible job of playing this guy who's got 24 split personalities within him. And even though you only see about 6 to 8 of them through the course of the movie, he plays each single personality like it is a completely different person. It is absolutely wild. It is something that you need to see because I've never seen anything like that before.
It's really something to see because his transition between characters, between personalities, is just so seamless. It really is as if you're watching a different actor play all of these different characters, as if you were just meeting them on a street. It was just really incredible to watch, and definitely something to see in theaters while it's out there. Now, maybe if you have a discount theater and you're not really that into horror movies, wait until that point, but it's still really worth something to see.
I would say it's more of a suspenseful kind of thing than a horror thing. I mean, it's got its scary points.
You're right.
But it's got a lot of suspenseful build-ups. The ending is not that great of a payoff, but if you're a fan of M. Night Shyamalan movies, it may be worth it because, and you're going to hear this from us first, it kind of sets up a Shyamalaniverse.
Yeah, it does. Totally cool. And as someone who is not a fan of M. Night Shyamalan, I've liked Sixth Sense. That's the only movie of his I've liked. I really enjoyed the movie. And I enjoyed the ending, too. It is a little disappointing because it doesn't give you a satisfying resolution to everything that's happened in the movie, but it gives you something that you're going to go, what is happening? What is going on? It makes you want more. And we did read in an article that he is setting up for another movie after this that's going to kind of tie it together. So it's pretty cool.
And the reason why you know this, and this doesn't really spoil the movie, so I mean I'll say spoilers-ish. Bruce Willis makes a quick cameo at the end of the movie as his character from Unbreakable, which is why I say that this movie is setting up a Shyamalaniverse, because the movie Split is apparently taking place in the same universe in the same time as the movie Unbreakable.
Yep. So it does take place after the end of Unbreakable, because they do mention that Samuel L. Jackson's character is in jail, or he's been in an asylum. So it does take place after that movie. This just happens to take place in the same universe, possibly in the same town. Not really sure, or at least it takes place in New York, I believe. So it looks like it's a city.
Split takes place in Philly.
In Philly. Okay, so there you go. And we do see Bruce Willis's character. He's just there for a quick moment, and then he's gone, and it kind of leaves you going, what will happen now? So it was really neat. As a twist goes, that was a pretty cool little thing to drop in, just for funsies, really.
Yeah.
Because even if there isn't a movie after this, it was just a really neat send-off there.
Was there anything else you particularly liked about the movie?
I really, aside from James McAvoy's extraordinary performance, I really enjoyed the overall story of the movie. It's not something you normally see in movies these days. We don't really get a lot of psychological thrillers. And it kept throwing different things at you the entire time, so I wasn't ever really sure where this movie was landing. I wasn't sure where it was going to go, and I liked that as a psychological thriller. It kept me guessing. It kept me on my toes. It kept me very anxious to know what was going to happen. Like, was it all in her head at this whole time? Is everything that's happening a dream? Is it really going on? Are the other people there actually real people? That's what was going through my mind while I'm watching this movie, trying to figure it out. And James McAvoy does a really great job of keeping you in that suspenseful, what's really going on kind of feeling. So
well, was it that way because of the story, or was it that way because we knew it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
No, I don't like M. Night Shyamalan movies. And the only other movie that's ever really done that has been Sixth Sense with M. Night Shyamalan. And then there was the movie Secret Window with Johnny Depp. That one kept you kind of guessing too, because at the end there was a big twist there. In case you haven't seen that movie, go see it, come back, and then you'll know what we're talking about. It was very intense. The entire movie was very suspenseful, but it also made you very uncomfortable for the situation that the girls that are in the movie find themselves in, because you would never expect to be in that sort of situation.
Speaking of uncomfortable, the one thing that I really didn't like too much about the story was going into the main girl's past. Like, you get these little bits of flashbacks throughout the movie about how she's a little girl, she's hunting with her dad, and her dad's teaching her how to hunt, and they're going with her uncle. Come to find out that the uncle is pretty much
molesting her her entire life.
Yeah. And at the end of the movie, you find out that her uncle is now her guardian because her father passed away of a heart attack, so he took over guardianship when she was still little.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings about another one of the big twists in the story is because James McAvoy's one character finds out that, she is, for lack of a better word, scarred.
Yeah.
But I mean, it gave you some kind of background into who she was. I don't think we needed that much, though.
Yeah, I really don't think we needed it. It came in at disjointing moments that didn't really flow seamlessly with other scenes. It
felt very shoehorned.
Yeah, I mean, it was still good. It did give you some insight into what she's going through and why she's acting the way she's acting in this movie. But I don't think it needed to be there. If we took it out, nothing would be lost from this movie at all.
Yes and no.
It really wouldn't, because the whole point of the movie, James McAvoy's characters, that he kidnaps 3 girls. He brings them to his basement. They're set up to be a sacrifice for his 24th personality, which is going to be coming later on.
The Beast.
The Beast, which is sort of a supernatural element that they believe in, that they think is going to come, and they need these women to be sacrificed to him. Well, it turns out he's doing this because they need to realize their potential, and no one who hasn't known pain can realize their full potential. At the end of the movie, when she's cornered, she's the last one standing. She's almost without clothes at this point in time. She's gotten them ripped off. He sees her scars, the scars on her body, and decides she is worthy and does not kill her. Doesn't go after her anymore. We didn't need any more of her background if that was all he needed to see in order to go, oh, well, you've known pain, you've met your potential, and he leaves her. So we didn't need the whole she was molested thing. That still could have been a good point in the movie. I just don't think we needed to necessarily see it.
Or it could have been done differently.
Yeah. Because the whole time in the movie, I thought maybe this was all in her head. I thought maybe James McAvoy's character was somebody that she was imagining all of this, which it turned out didn't happen. But it was one of those things that kind of threw you off because of the way those scenes were set up. I still liked the story, though, and it definitely was a very well-written, well-scripted story. All of the acting was phenomenal. I liked every character, which is not something I normally say. I didn't feel like there was any weak characters in this, although the one thing I personally did not like is at the very beginning, because the movie starts basically right off with them getting kidnapped. It's like 2 minutes in. There's a really long stretch of time for those girls to get out of the car they're in before he sprays them with whatever chemical he has to make them fall unconscious.
Well, the girls in the back seat were
talking
around on the phone and talking, didn't realize they were in the car.
But the main woman in the front passenger seat, totally had 3 minutes. She could have pulled that door handle, fallen out of the car, and sprinted for her life if she wanted to.
But that could have also been a product of her more or less being a victim her whole life, just kind of freezing up.
Yeah.
I've never been through that, so I mean that's what I imagine. I could be wrong, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody.
Yeah. I mean, once you get to the end and you realize what's happened to her, it does make more sense. The reason she's been acting the way she has been this whole movie, but that could have gone a little bit quicker. Other than that, though, there really wasn't anything I really found fault with. Little nitpicky stuff that you can nitpick any movie with, but this was just It was top of the line.
It was solid.
It was a solid
It was
movie.
solid. Despite a somewhat lackluster ending, it was definitely a solid movie. Again, if you see it for no other reason, see it for James McAvoy's performance. It really was that good.
It seriously was. And that was mainly the reason I wanted to see it, because the trailers made him look just amazing. And he was. He brought it. It was just great.
Cannot stress it enough.
Cannot stress that enough. So, I mean, if you just want a nice night out to watch James McAvoy be crazy on screen, go see this movie. Because it's definitely worth the price of a ticket. So, now why'd you say the ending was lackluster? What exactly about it was lackluster for you?
I think because there was no actual ending, although I get it, after having read that article that he is intending to bring this into another movie, a third movie, if you want to call it a third movie, if you see Unbreakable as the first movie. That kind of, I'm like, okay, I'm all right with that. But if you take this as a standalone movie, the ending is like he gets away and he's just like, now they'll believe that we're real, and like that's like it.
Well, the whole point of from his perspective of the movie was that nobody in the scientific community believed that they were that the separate personalities were real people. To him, they were real. And the psychiatrist who's treating him also believes that they are real, because the trauma he experienced as a child his brain was able to create these other personalities that are fully functioning separate individuals from each other. And her system isn't working, and that's the whole reason that they kind of get the beast to come out. There is a trigger point that brings that on, but basically his end result is that he wants the world to know they exist. And that was the whole point. Now they know that he exists. Would they have had he killed the third girl? No, but he would have kept on his killing spree, and he might continue. Because just like Joe said, he does get away in the end. He leaves the third girl. She is trapped at the time that he leaves her. She is rescued later by other workers when they come for their workday. But he does get away in the end. So the movie ends with him in a room somewhere, looking at himself in a mirror, talking to his other personalities, basically telling himself, what are we going to do next? And that's how the movie ends. So it's pretty cool and creepy. I don't like movies that don't have a nicely tied up ending, but I did like this one because it was a thriller and because it was more terrifying to know that he's still out there. Everybody knows that he's still out there. What are you going to do about that? So it's pretty cool. I do look forward to the third movie, if there is a third movie, to see how it all gets basically tied together. Maybe Bruce Willis's character has to fight him. I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
Can we see Bruce Willis go against a crazy James McAvoy to switch between personalities?
That would be pretty cool. I mean, that'd be interesting to see how they play that off.
Yeah, I would enjoy seeing that.
So, final rating out of 5 stars?
I would give it a 4. Definitely a solid 4 out of 5. And the only reason I take it down is because that first scene kind of threw me. Again, I agree with you. I didn't really need the background character on the first girl. The other 2 girls didn't get one. But everything else was just great. I really loved how strong all the female characters were, too. We don't really get to see that very often. Those girls did not stop fighting all the way up until the end. So, I mean, they died. But, they tried. And that's more than a lot of things that happen.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
I give it a solid 4. Again, mostly for the reasons that you pointed out. Mostly because I think that the main girl's backstory could have been done a little bit better.
Yeah. I don't know that we needed to see it the way we saw it. It could have just been maybe brought up in those moments when she was waiting for him at the end, when she was about to fight him. And that's where she draws her strength from, because she's no longer going to be a victim. She shoots his ass. He does not die. Otherwise, I really liked it. I'm really glad we got to see a really good horror thriller suspense movie, because a lot of times they just fall flat for me. So this was a win. This was a win for me.
Yeah.
And James McAvoy.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us. Tell us in the comments if you saw the movie, what you thought of it. Are you excited to see the movie? Check us out on Facebook, and we are also on Twitter. I'll put the links in the comments below.
Also, let us know, are you back with M. Night Shyamalan now? he got. I'm gonna give him another chance after this movie. So was definitely off of him for a very long time. I'm back in. Back in.
Like the video if you like what we talk about. Give us some suggestions of other things you'd like to see us talk about. Subscribe to our channel. Check out all the content we've got on there. We do a little bit of movies, a little bit of gaming, a little bit of unboxing videos. It's a nice grab bag.
We just can't choose one thing.
We like everything.
That's why we have no money.
Well, thanks for watching the video. We'll see you next time.
Bye, Internet.